are literate, but we have also got high-level scientists. So we are going into new areas of the economy, like the vehicle industry, the automotive industry. We are making our own buses now, our own cars, the electric car, making our own pickups, assembling all sorts of things here. The pathogenic economy, the one of vaccines and medicines, pharmaceuticals, all those, our people are very active and moving there. And in the other agro-processing industries, we are going to, apart from processing food, fibers like cotton, we are going to add forest products so that we produce our own paper instead of importing paper from bamboo, for instance, or trees, processing minerals, etc. So therefore, the journey forward is going to be serious, intense, but also profitable. Now, in the services sector, now that the corona has gone down, economy has been opened now, the tourists will be able to come. The entertainment, I saw them last night, they were really entertaining themselves. The hospitality industry, and so on. So therefore, this is the time now to go to another level. Don't continue talking about small things. Let's go to high, middle income level. Target an economy of $500 billion, not just a few billions, no. That's not enough. And I'm sure we can achieve it. Fortunately, we have negotiated with our brothers in Africa. There is the African continental market, common market. We have got market access to the United States products under AGOA, the European Union, China. So the markets are there. If we reduce the products of the right quality. We fought with Corona, as you saw. I want to thank Ugandans and congratulate them for listening to our advice to observe very strict restrictions for 2 years now. Congratulations. Abana-Uganda nali bamanyi nti tewali kisobola kubalema kubanga nali mbakulembeddeko mu lutalo olw'emmundu kye twabawabulanga mwakikolanga. Naku luno mukikoze, mwebale nnyo Abana-Uganda, mwebale. These international media groups are not serious. You really wonder how people can be not serious. First of all, everybody was amazed about how Uganda observed serious lockdown for 2 years. They wrote about it. BBC, Al Jazeera, I even heard some that New Times and things like that. But what is amazing is that they miss the point. When they talk about the lockdown, they say girls got pregnant in lockdown. This is what they are talking about. That's what they're talking about. Oh, girls got pregnant. Girls got pregnant. Pregnant is not dying. You fellows, Al Jazeera, BBC, please, can you not understand that being pregnant, a young girl, is a complication, but it's not dying. The original problem was dying on a big scale. And we succeeded. I don't know who took it in the world, but I think Uganda fared among the topmost. Because after 2 years, we have lost 3,000 something people who died. Some of the other people lost almost, some of them lost almost 1 million in one country, 1 million people who died in a year. Here we are talking of 3,000 something. And those who have been infected all these years, 2 years, 160,000. If you watch what happens in other countries, 160,000 are infected in one day. So I congratulate Ugandans for listening to our advice. The children who got pregnant, we are going to discuss with the bishops. Some of them are here. We shall find a solution for them. There are some arguments. Should a child come with ortundu? In Nyankwele they call it ortundu. When you are pregnant and the stomach is showing, it's called ortundu. Should the children come with ortundu in the school? That one I will discuss with the cabinet first and with the other people. Should the child come breastfeeding in the school? That one we shall again discuss quietly among ourselves. But what I can tell you straight away, what I will not agree to, whatever happens, is to continue a child not continue with her education because she got pregnant once. That one I cannot accept. I cannot. It is neither logical nor certainly religious. Because if the child had a problem or made a mistake, you cannot condemn her for all her life. So the rest, that one is a minimum. But I hear religious leaders seem to be agreed on that. The only issue is about these other two, the breastfeeding and the rutundu, coming with the rutundu there in the classroom. I don't want to give my views on that, because I want to hear the views of all the others, but I have views also. But for the going back to school, the children will go back to the government schools. They will go back, because you cannot, if mature entrants, abakaikuru, abakaire, if they can go back to school and study when they are in their 40s, 50s, why can't the child go back to school and study after she has had a problem? But should she go with the rutundu? That one we shall discuss. Should she go breastfeeding? That one we shall discuss. It was amazing for Al Jazeera and BBC was that in the lockdown, the only thing they were talking about were children who got pregnant. Bambi, these countries are really in trouble. They have got so much poor leadership. You pity them. What sort of people are these? People are dying and you're just talking about only this one. And to bring out that Uganda, because of the lockdown, they succeeded in minimizing. They only talk about children who got pregnant. So I congratulate Ugandans. Thank you so much for passing the test. This was a test. This was a test, and we passed it reasonably well. Now, finally, as you can see, I'm glad that ours from Congo are here, from DRC. We are working together to stop that little problem of ADF. ADF is nothing. We should defeat them. We defeated them here. They were from here. We defeated them. The LRA, Coin, were here. We defeated them. So they go to kill our brothers and sisters in Congo. Once in a while, they come and plant bombs here. And some sheikhs. That one we. So I want to thank His Excellency Tshisekedi for having us, allowed us to work with our brother to finish that little problem. These children, these young children who had joined the ADF, they had got spoiled. 20 years killing people, looting people's things. You can imagine in Congo, that part of Congo, people there are very hardworking. They grow cocoa. They grow cocoa, among other things. So what was happening all these years is that when the cocoa would be ripe, the ADF would come and chase people and harvest the cocoa and sell it and get money. And they had business agents in the towns, Beni, Goma, even here in Uganda, they had business agents who were selling the stolen for them to get money, to live a good life, to send to their families, but also to buy materials to make bombs and so on. And also minerals, digging minerals and selling them. So we are working with the Congo government. It is easier to defeat these groups. It's not all that big problem. We have a long experience in doing it, and we shall defeat them. But you can see the problem which is happening now in more parts of Africa. The problem in West Africa started with the attack on Libya by the people. Remember, I talked of some people on the inauguration here. I talked about some people who couldn't listen to Africa. They attacked Libya, and all the terrorist groups which were in Libya now out. In the whole of what they call the Sahel, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. Now, I would like to really invite the African people, leaders, to sit down and we exchange views on how to strengthen in Africa. We have some experience here. We can share it with others. Otherwise, what's happening now is to take us back. Because the Syrian leaders failed to build strength, to build, for instance, strong armies. Then the terrorists come. Then there is a military coup, like the ones which have happened in Guinea, and now recently in Burkina Faso. Now those leaders are not accountable to anybody. Nobody elects them. So how can they do a better job? You remember what was happening here in the 1960s, and so on, wasting time. Ate n'okumanya tebamanyi. You know, this is the whole problem of Africa. Abantu abatalina kye bamanyi babeera awo befuula nga abalina kye bamanyi. Kati buno obwana okugenda walooka ekikampi kyabwe kiri awo bali bakiyita kampi ya Yuwa. N'obeera awo simanyi kilomita meka kuva ku nsalo ya Uganda newefuula awo n'okola efujjo n'otamanya nti lumu Katonda alikkiriza Uganda nekusaawo. Timanyi, they don't know. They don't know what war means. They talk about war, they don't know what war means. They don't even know how to fight. But Africa should allow those novices to disturb our peace and our agenda. We shall get in touch with the West African leaders and see how to harmonize our thinking. So, with these few words, again I congratulate the Ugandans, the NRM people, on the 36 years of NRM management of the country, but even more on the earlier years of the struggle which you persecuted very well. Some of the correspondents in Uganda are beginning to be serious. I was reading some articles in Monitor. Monitor never nangi taliso kuandika ebiri mu amagezi. Monitor mujimanyi. Monitor omusajja buli eyo bubadde bukola bitotegerekeka naye kati olwaleero ndabye Katonda gyali monitor newandiika ebirimu amagezi. In one page, I think the inside page, I think it is 32 or 42, 32. I don't have time to. They were writing, you should go and read it. Well, it's interesting. There's a boy called Faustin Mugabe. Oh, Mugabe yani. Awandika bulijjo. Now, he was writing in that supplement there inside, the recovery of the industry in Uganda. And it was about soap. Maybe let me see what I can see. Boraba monitor never to secure mama. Ntikatunda natero kujja. Oh, I may follow it, and away. On page supplements, page Roman 32. If you are Roman, X, that means X is 10. Awazibera bwezibera esatu zibera asatu mubiri. Katoyo omwami Mugabe, when the National Resistance Movement government came to power in January 86, production was very low. In the manufacturing section, all the factories running after half capacity and below. Crop production was equally very low. But the first 366 days under the NRM government, a lot of growth was recorded in production and exports, partially as a result of the peace restoration by the NRM government. Below are some of the records from production extracted from the 1988 International Budget Report. Olaba kati monitor naye wandika ebirimu egezi kyakwewuunya nno oba Katonda akyaddeyo simanyi. Kati ne bawandiika soap production. Soap, sabuni, was one of the most essential goods in Uganda when the NRM government came to power. In 1986, only 3,292 tons of soap, both for bathing and washing, was used. But the following year, 15,879 tons were produced in the sole manufacture factory owned under Mukwa Industries in Kara. So, soap production went from 3,000 tons a year to 16,000 tons. Monitor everyone is saying no. Kati bw'olaba ente eyogera ng'omuntu. Omanye nti Katonda kati owa monitor bw'avudde ku sabbuuni n'agenda ku batamiivu. Before 1986 and shortly thereafter, beer and soft drinks were often smuggled into the country from beer and soda. Beer and sodas were smuggled into Uganda because production in factories was far less than the capacity production because of poor factory equipment, which often broke down and lacked spare parts, or because of poor management of the company. But with improved security in the country, beer production was reportedly increased from 6.6 million litres in 1986 to 16.4 million the following year. Oyo ye monitor awandise bino. Abawandise abijja mu mpapula za gavumenti eza budget ez'obudde obwo. N'olwekyo we have moved very well, but we need to move much more aggressively. We cannot be content with remaining where we are. With few words, I congratulate you and I wish you good luck.
We thank you so much, Excellency the President, for that address to the nation and those important words of encouragement, hope for peace, security, and socio-economic transformation of the country. At this juncture, Your Excellency, I request you permit us invite the Master of Ceremonies of the Chancellery to request you to award honors to different categories of personalities as will be presented by the Master of Ceremonies of the Chancellery. Major General Mbasa, President of Administration of the APDF, and Master of Ceremonies of the Chancellery. You're welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of Uganda People's Defense Forces, Her Excellency the Vice President, His Lordship the Chief Justice, Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers and Ministers of State, Your Excellencies the Ambassadors, Honorable Members of Parliament, Service Chiefs, Their Worship the religious leaders, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Your Excellency, I'm Major General George Gumba, the Master of Ceremonies for the Chancellery, to run you through this last part of today's celebrations as per law established. In accordance to Section 3 Part 2 of the National Honors and Awards Act of 2001. His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda medals to 50 persons at the 36th NRM Victory Anniversary celebrations. The 50th National Independence Medal, the Nalubale Medal, the Luwero, and the Special Service Police Medal. The names of the 50 awardees were by the Presidential Awards Committee, comprising of 10 members, chaired by Dr. Biak. He is a director, X-Ray Care and Ultrasound Center Limited, and a member of the Atomic Energy Council from 2009 to date. He's the chairman, board directors, Cancer Platform, Uganda Limited, Kampala. He was senior consultant, radiation oncologist, and head Department of Radiotherapy, Mulago Hospital, from 2004 to 2014, where he transferred the department to the use of radiology. Next is Professor Msoke Philippa. Professor Philippa Msoke has pediatric specialty training and child health in School of Medicine at Makerere University College of Sciences. In addition, she's the site principal investigator for the Makerere University Johns Hopkins University Clinical Research Site in Kampala, Uganda. Professor Msoke is board certified in pediatric infectious diseases and has been conducting clinical trials in perinatal HIV prevention and childhood tuberculosis since 1995, and implementing studies, programs for pediatric antiretroviral therapy in resource-limited settings. Next is Bodoy. Dr. Joseph Modoy was the lead surgeon of the team working at Soweto when we were faced with a conjoined baby girl twins dead and second life was attached Excellency is Professor Monica Chibita. Her remote sensing and machine learning technology has supported agriculture and food security across Africa. She has conducted research in remote sensing of drought, agriculture, and leading integration of Earth observations in agriculture monitoring of smallholder agriculture and multiple leader in the Kirika Church of Uganda Parish, who has unified the parish and mobilized them to start building one of the biggest and most modern cathedrals in eastern Uganda on a self-help basis. This cathedral will also have a modern adult training center as annex to impart skills to Ugandans. He worked to set up a factory, the first ever of its kind in East and Central Africa, to manufacture veterinary medicine in the country. Your Excellency, the very last in this category is none other than Onyach Oyo. May his soul rest in peace. Chimo Oyo was born way back in 1917 in Koro Abili Gulu district. He was a grade 3 magistrate of Chitugum and Kasese districts to 1976. He was the founder of the Scouts movement in a sub-region, aiming at developing the youth into self-reliant citizens who are acceptable in every community. He promoted interreligious unity among Muslims, Protestants, Catholics, and traditionalists in the year 1940. On the Amnesty Commission, he persuaded rebels to surrender to the government and supported the RDC of Gulu district, then the late Omoro Justin, in this endeavor. That marks the end of the awardees in category of the national medal.
To also just remember Businge Amotu, who was the Chancellor for quite a long time, since 2008 until at the time he died about 2 years ago. The Chancellor now is led by Hajat Malore Zamima, and this is now a new team, but of course the technical team in that department is still doing a very good job. Had 2 years of disruption the entire year of 2020 and 2021 when such events were organized. They were organized typically virtually, and there wasn't this liberty of giving out awards. So the awards ceremonies have actually excited many people here, as you can see, and this hasn't been happening. Like I told you, the last time we saw this happening was in 2020 in Malukumbale on Women's Day, when we celebrated that. We also welcome now the a new Master of Ceremonies of the Chancery, who takes over from General Ivan.
Your Excellency, the next category, which has only one awardee, is the Nalubale Medal. Section 3.2, second schedule, part 1.6 of the National Honors and Awards Act of 2001. The Nalubale Medal is awarded to all civilian activities who have activists who have contributed towards the political development of Uganda, either through armed struggles or civil disobedience, and otherwise, right from colonial times to date. And the awardee is none other than Haj Issa Mbago. Haj Issa Mbago was born 15th January 1951. He is now 70 years. He supported the liberation struggle in the 1980s through giving some assistance in form of food to the late Haj. Next is ROV 2232, Lieutenant Godfrey Chofna. Next is ROV 002240, Lieutenant Musa Cheyune. And the last in this category is RS 00303, Sato Grace. May her soul rest in peace. Your Excellency, the last category, comprising of 16 police officers, is the award of the Special Service Medal, which is awarded to police officers of the Reserve Force and Special Police Constabularies who have distinguished themselves during their period of engagement. And on the list, I have SP Subuga Hannington, SPC Kahar Paul, SPC Matov Joseph, SPC CC Kazi Muhindakazi, SPC Waliana, SPC Waja Ismail, SPC Serubi
dispensation. A crane performers, Your Excellency.
Tekinyonyi kiwanike eky'ebendera y'eggwanga mpulira magezi.
Distinguished guests, that is the honor always. With marching the parade of the square.
Your Excellency, normally have the female officers command the parade when it is International Women's Day. But today, we have had the second command who is a female officer on a day like this. But Independence and other occasions like on this occasion, it is normally the male officers. But today, the second in command is a female officer. We see for granting us even that opportunity.